Test, test. Test, test. Test, test. Test, test. 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 1, 2, 3. All right. So we're going to start getting into it right here. We are doing some technical analysis on Bitcoin. Today is January 4th, 2026, and we're just going to get right on into it. So we have Bitcoin on the monthly chart here, and we are riding around 92,900, just hit about 93,000. So we're going to take a macro look at this, and then reduce the time frames, look a little deeper into it, and then we'll get into a couple of the other altcoins here and just get a general view of where we're at, where we've been, and what we can expect, future price moves to look like. So we'll start with some trend lines. We're on the monthly chart here, so just to explain it, we have the stochastic RSIs here on the lower level where my cursor is at. And what we're looking for here is the lower and higher price actions. So as we go below this dotted line of about 20, that shows that the price action is oversold. Going above it, that means that it's overbought. So we'll do some general trend lines here, and we'll start from this bottom and we'll extend that up to this portion here. So cleaning this up, we'll put some trend lines and just going to show you what we're looking at here. And one thing we can clear up is this right here. All right. So yeah, we're looking at some general trend lines, and from the stochastic RSI, this is what the trend is looking like. And there are portions here where we've dipped below and above this trend line. That doesn't make it look perfect. Like right here, we're kind of getting in and out of the trend line. But, as a general trend, this is from this low to this low of the stochastic RSI. So we're trying to form another low here, and this candle that we're showing on the monthly is, looking like a bullish engulfing candle. It's getting close to engulfing the full length of the previous candle. So a bullish engulfing candle there would resemble a reversal in the price action, and we could see a reversal for Bitcoin here. And that is just on the monthly. That is one scenario here that we're looking at. There are a couple of other scenarios here that, tell different stories. So, one thing that we see on the monthly is what we started off at was, from this high in this stochastic to this high in this stochastic, we could see the correlation right here, and that is showing, we could also say that it was right there as well, but those right there, it's showing some bearish divergence. So when that happens, that means that the RSI is, it's not as overbought in the second location as it was in the first location, and the price action is going up. So it's showing some divergence in, the logistics of the price action there. So that's a bearish trend, and that's what led to this price action to the downside. Right there. So now we're finding some support here on this, as you could say, this white dotted line here. That is going to be the 50-day moving average, or the 50 period moving average. I believe every 50 points, that's going to be the moving average of that. So we're bouncing right off of that 50 moving average on the monthly. And on this market cipher indicator here, you can see that we're having some trends going up in the money flow. So, just showing some general trends on the monthly here. We'll bring it down to the 2-week chart. Similar kind of trend here on the stochastic RSI. Our market cipher is starting to curve up. Still hasn't crossed yet, but on the stochastic RSI, we have crossed. The blue has crossed the orange line. That does mean a reversal, but we're not out of the woods yet. We still have to confirm on additional time frames, so we'll look deeper into it. But what we could do here is start drawing some support lines. So get some general support around the area. And we have support here because of the multiple, areas that we've touched throughout the price action. So we'll just include these here. And this is just giving us a general idea of, as I said before, where we've been and where we could possibly retest if we were to go lower. So we'll put those as green lines, green support. And then we'll have here the resistance in red. And this will be the resistance that we face as we go up here. So in the macro trends, these are previous highs that we've closed at, and that's at 104,000 and 117,000 going up. That would all keep us in this pattern as well. So this pattern that we're showing here, we could do a measured move here. And usually this kind of pattern falls to the downside. And, well, it's giving us some negative numbers. So maybe that's not the pattern that we're in right here. So this is just showing a general trend, but let's see if we could redraw this pattern, especially the lower portion of it here. Yeah, we'll get closer to what we're actually looking at. So on this side here, we're closing the 2-week here, and this is where we've closed it also. So we don't have a clean looking pattern here. We have different angles on the upper side and the lower side. So tough to tell the trend is a symmetrical pattern there, but what we can do is estimate the price action. So if we were to go down, we'll put it right back there. We'll just put it at the current price. These are all estimates here, but this estimate is based on the price action in the previous move. So this previous move in the pattern had that amount of price action there. So we could estimate that this next leg will have that amount of price action, and usually this kind of pattern will lead to the downside. So, worst case scenario here, we have an estimate of about 57,000 on the 2-week chart. If we were to, not be successful and make a higher high and continue the pattern upwards, our lower direction would be looking at 57,000 there. So that's something to look out for. We'll make this a dotted line and make them the same color so we see where we're looking at here. All right. Yeah, we could make that dotted as well. Actually, I like the dashed. Dash looks better there. Great. So now we have a measured move to the downside, and we'll leave it there because we have some. It's not really a measured move to the upside yet, but we do have some resistance that we're heading to. So these are some price points for the time being. We'll go to a lower time frame on the weekly, and on the weekly you see that we are carving up. Market cipher is giving us a green dot here, based on this pattern. But on this weekly, one thing we do have here is you could call this a bear flag that we have going on here. And since it's a bear flag, we make it red. So what we could do in this price discovery here of just trying to figure out where we're going is, figure out where we've consolidated and, just pick some general idea. So this is also on the weekly. We're going to zoom in and just get a better idea of what we're looking at. So on the 3-day chart, you can see we're right on the 200 moving average, 200-day moving average, which is this yellow dotted line. The 50-day moving average is the white dotted line. I have to double check that, but I believe right now it's the 50, the closed 50. So it's 50 is the white, and then yellow is the 200. So these are the 50-day moving averages on the 3-day time frame, and now on the 3-day, we are above both of them, and being above this 200-day and confirming this area is good. It means that we're confirming that this is as a support range. So it's a bullish indicator at the least. The thing is, we have to close this candle here. So we have about a day and 21 hours until this candle closes. So in that time frame, we could possibly go down. There's no guarantee here. And another reason I say that is because now our stochastic RSI is up high. And with this going up high, it's showing that we do have a trend that we will be coming back down to retest at least some support. What we retest is what we'll have to see and look at the smaller indicators and just see what exactly we're looking at there. But we do have some high stochastic RSI here, and we have not broken the previous high. So basically, with the last time our stochastic RSI was this high, we were all the way up here at 125,000. We're making a lower high, definitely, and this is on the 3-day. So it's a bigger time frame, and we haven't gotten close, to this last high. So that's a bearish indicator here, but we still are within this pattern. We are making it above the moving averages, so it's something to look at. We have indicators that are both bearish and bullish, so we'll keep an eye on that, and we'll zoom in a little further on the daily as well. We are overbought on the stochastic RSI. Stochastic here. The thing is, we are getting close to our previous high here. So this is why we zoom in, because we haven't reached the previous high yet on the 3-day, but on the daily we have at least gotten to it. So before the 3-day gets there, the daily will have to get there, and that's what it's showing now. Is the daily is currently at that resistance point, and we're testing that in consolidation. We have reached our high of the RSI, but we'll look in a little closer. We'll jump to the 6-hour here, and here we go. As you can see on the 6-hour, we are getting pretty high. It's a closer look here of what exactly we're doing. And on the 6-hour, we have made a higher high. Now, we're still in the range of confirming. You could say we even broke out something like this. Something like that, made a flag. You could even say it was like that. And then we have a measured move of this price range. Yeah, let's change these colors real quick. And we'll change this to a dotted line. Put the measured move right there. Perfect. So yes, we have a measured move of about 95,000 here, 95,200. And we did have that resistance that we called out just at about 94,600. So we're getting there. We're getting close to that resistance point, and our measured move is showing that we should be just above it. So we're gonna have to keep moving in closer. We're on the 4th of January here, so it's gonna take some time to progress to that next area. And if you want to estimate how long that's gonna take, or just get a general idea, you can look at how long these trends have lasted for. you know, you could get like an estimate of something like this. This is about 9 days to get from, you know, bottom to bottom. If you want to measure top to top, it's taking us about 11 days. So as we're riding, you know, and when you're in this top range, when you're in these ranges, they last about 3 days here. So you could say we are getting close to the end of this range here, and you know we're getting close to resistance. So you want to see some, want to definitely hit that resistance sooner than later, and confirm that we can, you know, maintain this level. And on the 1 hour, you know, basically we could flag this, and it's showing that we've broken out of this pattern here, and it looks like we are getting some more upside for the time being. And you could say it's something like that, with a measured move of approximately this. And you know, now we're just ripping. So, you know, this measured move only goes up to here, but at this point we are just carrying on, and it could mean that, you know, the smaller time frames are just confirming, or at this point shorts are just getting squeezed. And what I mean by that is there's futures and there's leverage trading, and when people are betting that the price of Bitcoin is going to go to the downside, they have a limit to where if the price goes too high, you know, their trade just automatically closes, and that influences the price to go up. So it could mean that we're jumping up because of some of that. There's different things to look at, but there's, you know, just in general terms, we do have high stochastics on the lower time frames. So it looks like we will have some resistance coming up, and then we'll be testing lower levels. I'll get rid of this right here, but we'll keep these support lines. So we'll see what we have coming up. You know, we have some support and resistance lines that we'll have to test on our way back up and down. So, yeah, that's BTC. We'll jump into Ethereum here, and we'll get a quick analysis on the 3 hour. You know, pretty similar range. We'll zoom out a little bit. Let's see. When I say similar range, I mean that we are hanging out in this bear flag. Something like this. You know, and the reason why it's a bear flag is because we're coming in from a bearish trend, and if we can't confirm levels above this previous high, our trend is looking like we're going to go further down. And this trend usually means it's a continuation of however we entered. So if we entered from the top going down, it looks like we're going to go, you know, leaving the pattern going down as well. But if we can confirm, that'd be great. And, you know, in order to confirm that, we'll have to, you know, if we can confirm going up, we'll have to confirm on lower time frames here as we slowly crawl up. And Ethereum is doing the same. We're flagging out on a lot of these, basically getting these levels confirmed here. As you can see, this right here, what was previous resistance, you know, it led to price action going down, hit this support level, and then after it broke above, it then became the local support level. And since we confirmed that, we bounced up. So we're in price discovery here, and we're relying on previous support levels for Ethereum. And we could just jump in and see a couple of these support levels right here with this tool called the volume price range something. Here we go. Let me get you the exact name of that. It's going to be the fixed range volume profile, and this will tell you where the volume is throughout this price action. And we'll just throw some horizontal lines here, right where we've had some support. And here as well. And we got another right over here. we will make these green. And yeah, we're at another resistance level here and another one right there. So we're currently at resistance right now at Ethereum on the daily. High stochastics, it'd be great to close a candle above it. We have 20 hours to do it. We'll look closely on the price action here. Yeah, we have the fixed volume profile. We'll get rid of this. And then, yeah, we'll just zoom in a little closer. As we continue throughout Ethereum, we'll have to see how price action goes, and we can do that by going to a time frame where the stochastic level is low, and we can start flagging out this time frame and finding our ranges. So we'll just put it in a box. We're putting the price in a box, and we're saying if it goes below this level right here, if it goes below this green line, then that means the price is losing the support. It's losing the support of this level. And if it does that, that means we're likely to test previous support levels. But if we can maintain this position and go above, maybe go down, and then above this pattern, we'll likely retest this as a new support line and continue up, which is what we've done down here. And I say that because in this previous level, it was resistance, came down, came back up, and then tested it again, confirmed the support, and bounced up. So we could do the same here. We are at this point, we hit resistance, come back down, go up again, we could get rejected, come back down, and we're at price discovery, so we're just planning out what we could do here. And I'm just showing you how I'm planning this out and how I'm looking at the price action. And we'll hop over to Dogecoin, and this will be the last one for the day. Didn't do this for Ethereum. Looking at the monthly, we could look at it as well, just to get some general idea. And for Ethereum, yeah, we're right in the middle. So we're in the middle of some price discovery. Lower time frames are going to tell where that's going to go. Dogecoin is pretty low on the stochastic on the monthly. We're here, we're testing our moving averages, so still under price discovery, and this moving average as well, we're below it, so it seems like the price is a little oversold. Our 3-day is coming up. We're getting close to this moving average, getting above the 50, and getting close to the 200 moving average there. Go to the 3-hour. Zoom this in, and it looks like, yeah, we're flagging out. So, you can say we've had a flag right there. You get this price action range, and yep, we hit our level, and then we're in another flag. So we flag out again, and we'll just keep doing this until we can confirm or reject the price action. So as of right now, if we can confirm the price action to the upside, looks like we have a 16-cent Dogecoin coming in the next day or two. And if not, we'll come back down to 14 cents, test the 13.5, and we have some moving averages below it. So, we're getting a little high on the moving averages on the 3-hour. We might have to come back down and test some of these moving averages so they cross together. So we'll see what happens. This is a quick analysis of what we have going on in the market with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin, and we'll keep you guys updated. Much love, and have a good one.